Perseverance. Yeah. Okay. What did you
There we
learn
go.
from the book?
We're good. Okay. Why can't I fucking... delete this? That's like crazy. Oh, cancel. Next. Pa 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 pa. Let's make sure we are all good here with the streaming. And then I'm going to okay, looks like we are live. Things are working okay. Chat is good. And I think my audio is coming through here. Looks like it is. Okay, so we're gonna dive into this edit here, boys. Gonna dive into this edit here. So what have we got? This is the art of editing at its finest, lads. We are in a real life situation. This is not a drill. So what do we have here? So this is this project is a recap edit for Base, company that if you're watching this, you may be familiar. I've worked with many times before or done a lot of different projects for them. And today this is we are editing a recap edit of a camping trip that they took with some of the youth in their youth program. They just had like a nice kind of outdoor excursion. They just stayed the night basically, and I was there just sort of capturing things as they happened. Essentially, that was the directive, creative brief, and then the goal was to bring it back. Or the goal for this now is to create an edit that just sort of recaps everything, of course, but also hopefully just shows a little bit of like the fun that the kids had while they were there, the significance of it, like the impact it might have had on these boys, and how it felt having that kind of bonding experience, getting to go on a camping trip like this, and really just having some time to themselves to just kind of be boys, just kind of explore, just play around. Like the goal of this is to make it feel kind of just loose and just a good, enjoyable experience for them. So starting off, what you'll notice here is I have done a fair amount of sound design. I'm going to shrink that down just so we get a better look at our timeline here. And I'm going to collapse this a little bit just so we have it all nice and summarized for at least a moment. And then we'll probably expand it back out. But we will... what you can see starting off is I have some sound design here, which is just some ambience, as you can tell. So I use this audio all the way through. You can see I put it in the sound layer. On here it's on channel 5, and on here it's channel 3, so I might go in and have to tweak that. But all that to say, what I'm looking at right here are the first few scenes. I'm going to have to go through and mess with a little bit of this. My assistant editor, Alex, was helping out with this as well, and he went in and laid a lot of this stuff in here. So now I'm going to go through and just touch it up, or at least just kind of see how it feels and how it's flowing, and then dive in and finish it off. So we've got a few more things to add kind of out here at the end. Here's some extra footage that I think hasn't been used yet is what it is. I think this is all just kind of sitting out here. Unsolo this so we can kind of hear it. So the scene where they're all sitting around the campfire, this was probably the most, the opportunity where the youth and the adults kind of had the most time to do some of that kind of bonding and talking about, you know, what they're going through and how they can help each other and just kind of advice, I guess. So I really want this edit, like emotionally, to kind of lead up to this scene and have there be a little bit more weight to it, perhaps. But all that to say, we got to go through all the selects and find which moments are some of the best and which would be the most important to highlight. By the looks of it, Alex came in here and he added a lot of these clips in here.
Honor, humility,
Compassion, respect, accountability, authenticity, humility. Okay.
confidence, intelligence, humility,
Confidence. Intelligence.
Yes, intelligence.
Respect.
Yes.
Accountability.
Yes.
Humility.
Yes.
Compassion.
Yes.
authenticity,
Yeah.
humility,
Yes.
perseverance.
Yeah.
So this is kind of cool. So I'm kind of just browsing through here to see if I get a feel for it. I wasn't honestly at first considering using this part of the footage or any of this footage from the camping trip. So right here, what they're actually doing is he brought a bunch of these books with him, which you can't really tell what they are, but it's essentially a kid's book just about, you know, going from boys to men, like what it looks like and what are some of the qualities, some of those adjectives you heard them saying. What are some of those important traits to have to be a man, essentially? And you know, you heard him kind of rattling off. He was testing him on that. And I think there's probably some good little moments in there that I could maybe pick out. But ultimately, I also think like the effort it would take to make that make sense to the viewer who's watching this is I'd have to like somehow make sure I explain that like they're there. They were reading a book. They memorized it. He's quizzing them on it. And also the fact that they're kind of like saying humility, honor, like they're just kind of naming off the things. To me, it doesn't sound like as impactful. Like, it is cool, I guess, that he's asking them like go through this book and recite what the 15 or 12 or so terms are that this particular book says you should have. And again, this is kind of a kid's book. It's meant for like, I'd say like probably 4th grade or 5th grade reading age. I think he just bought it because he could get it in bulk and all the kids can go and read it. So every page is like a quick lesson on like humility or responsibility or some of those other things. So So this shot goes a little bit long. I just paused it there because I think that's where I'd probably want to cut it. That's just what kind of feels right to me. And before I get too far into this, all I want to do is see how he...
Listen to it.
Respect, perseverance, compassion.
So see, there's not really like a clear segue into like why they're just naming off these words. And maybe it's something I could solve with text on screen. You know, you can always think in that way. But from a creative standpoint, like I want this edit to flow kind of through, and I want people watching it to just really get a feel for like the significance of what they're there to do. And to me, this is another just potential layer of confusion if it's not explained out right or thoroughly. That's something that could happen. So that said, I just wanted to listen to these first couple clips to see if he had any clips in here where maybe Van said something like, all right, so this book we just read, I want you to all go through and name off blah, 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 you know, some kind of exposition, some kind of statement that I could potentially put in to show why they're reading off these words, but I didn't see any of that. I also have this timeline of the string outs, that I could go through, and he was so kind to color coordinate these for me. So I could also go through this. I also, of course, still have just the raw footage I could go through up here and see. But so far, it's looking like.
I know
So originally, my thinking was after this scene. So after all this, it's some shots of them kind of eating. This is the first shots of them reading the book. See, I don't even think I'm going to include any of this because I don't think it was very significant personally. You know, what I want to show is this kind of stuff, like them having fun, of course, kind of doing their thing. This was like a cool sort of nature walk they did where they actually hiked with these goats up through the mountain, and our guide kind of gave us like just a little bit of history about the land, that area, the mountain, and where all the freshwater springs are, and why they use goats to help rehabilitate the land. And I got a pretty cool like talking head from
guide. They've been trying to basically
from one of the dads that was there, one of the adult men that was there, just explaining what they were doing and a little bit about the stuff. So I just put his voice kind of underneath some B-roll here, and just kind of going backwards leading up to that. It's kind of just the kids goofing around at the campground, honestly, you know, just nice, light, jovial sort of feeling. I got a couple shots, of course, of them playing kendama. You got to throw that in there.
So, we've been here for a couple hours now, hiking with the kids on a goat walk, these mountain goats. Whoa, actually really amazing. We walked on the other side of this crater. Apparently, this was a volcano. And now, for the past 50 years, according to our guide.
Okay, so what I'm noticing right now, so I like how this is kind of feeling, and hopefully just watching that little segment, you kind of get a feel for it. Like, okay, this is just kind of like a low energy, but sort of like, okay, I can sort of see it developing. Like they start off playing games, and then they go on this hike, and then you hear a little bit of this guy's voice come in. Just on a technical note, one of the first things I noticed was the background sound of somebody else talking was just a little bit much. So I'm going to just bring this down a little bit more, kind of all of it. I know these are all at uneven amounts, and I can tell that just by the fact that this number is not the same. See how it's different for every single one of these. They were all brought down to different amounts. So that's how you know when you select all of them, it's going to go blank like that. But that's nothing to fear, because I can just kind of bring them all down equally.
A couple hours now, hiking with the kids on a goat walk, these mountain goats. Whoa, actually really amazing. We walked on the other side of this crater. Apparently, this was a volcano. And now, for the past 50 years, according to our guide, they've been trying.
So that one is just a little bit loud, kind of some shouting there. So I want it to be in the background, because what I really want is for these shots to, the audio from these shots to kind of coincide with this, so that you kind of have a nice little blend there. And then, of course, I just keep his audio and video synced together below that, so that if I ever want to cut back to him, all I have to do is disable one of these.
Basically rehabilitate the land, because cattle can be extremely.
So that's typically how I do these interviews. Whenever there's B-roll, I'll just leave the audio and video here, and then I can always cut one of these away. But I like that. I like it well enough leading up to it. So let's just start at the beginning, because that'll kind of make it easy. How this opens up, you know, it's just some classic B-roll shots.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, you know.
I like the little timestamp. I think I need to make it last maybe a little bit longer or something.
As us being mentors, we want.
I don't like this snap here, really.
As us being.
But
as us being mentors.
I don't know if there's any way I can avoid it. Maybe if I just.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, you know, be there for you, support.
And I'm going to have this fade out. I'm going to change this text probably to match this text here. So let's do that really quick. So right here, I just put in something default, Apple Gothic, it looks like. and I'm not sure if I want it dead centered. This scene one intro is more just like a guide thing. You can see that's we put that across the top of all of these just to help kind of organize the whole edit in our mind. So yeah, this is just kind of temporary. This is like the scaffolding, if you will, of the construction project. Yeah. Fuck. Oh man, I'm just checking the stream, making sure we're good. And this is nice. My computer's actually holding up. Sometimes it just doesn't. So yeah, going back to this, I like how this opens.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we.
And of course, that's a little bit tough to read. And
us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help.
And I don't like how these come in at different times. I don't feel like that's necessary.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help.
I'm wondering if these should fade out once his name fades in, because it feels a little weird to have it all at the screen, but maybe helping the font will help. So let me see. So here I used Arial Black. That's pretty standard. Let's just get it all. It's not the end of the world if these are different fonts, but it would kind of help. And then for background, I don't know if I want to do a background.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders.
And it sucks because I don't know. So somehow that audio got out of sync with. All right, so I have Papa here come in. So I added a basic animation there. You might notice to the name, so you can see the background behind the text kind of drifts a little bit.
We're opening up the summer.
I did that just to add some kind of motion to it. I like to try to find those opportunities when I can, just to help keep the engagement like a little bit better.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk.
So 2164. Okay, so this. This and this I want to make sure are lined up, because right now they're not. Based on time code sync. Okay, there we go.
About being men, we're going to talk about being leaders, so we'll have some time for that, but we'll have a lot of fun, all right?
Bring that down a little bit. Let's see here. And that is pretty common.
Being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that, but we'll have a lot of fun, all right?
And I think I want this clip to come later, because he does have like kind of a mini conversation here with him. I'm going to link these together at this point as well real quick. So I want this to kind of start after he's done talking here, because I like that. So what I'm actually going to do, so that's 2187. It looks like I don't have any audio down below from that, which is fine. I'm going to bring this here, and then I'm going to make sure it's, oops, I don't want to shorten it. I just want to drag it over so it's butted up against that. And then I'm going to grab these clips and come out to here. And so this should hopefully flow a little bit better.
We're going to talk about being men. We're going to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
You know, it's just kind of a cute little like moment, I think.
Today is going to be exciting.
And I don't want, maybe I do. Maybe that's fine.
Today is going to be exciting. We're opening up the summer with a camping trip out to Willowwit. Neat little spot. So we're gonna go for overnight camping, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna bond with these kids. We're gonna try to connect with them at the personal level, and then we're gonna do lots of fun activities. So it's gonna be great. I look forward to it. What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
And honestly, maybe what I'm going to do is do this little title thing for all of the kids, even if I can get their names right. I know a lot of them, but not all of them. So, because I don't know, maybe the thing is, though, like I didn't really take the time to interview all of them, which was something I was thinking about doing, but the opportunity didn't really present itself. They were pretty busy for the most part. Yeah, I didn't interview all of them, so I don't want to necessarily, I'm not sure necessarily if I want to do a title for each of them, because then it might feel weird if, half of them don't have one. So we'll kind of feel that out as we go out. But for now,
today is going to be exciting.
What I think I want to do is this is all pretty good, but I don't like how quick he comes in after he starts talking. This is just a little bit too short of a J cut here, and I don't know if I want to make this clip longer. Let me just watch this back again, get kind of a feel for it.
With us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
And I don't know why I don't have the audio for this 2187. I'm going to find that real quick and then just drag it down here. Oh, looks like I didn't record any audio. My microphone, I didn't turn it on. So that answers that. That makes it easy. And at this point, I'm actually going to collapse this media pool because I shouldn't need anything out of it. That's kind of one quick lesson I can give is, especially doing projects like this. Okay, sorry. Especially doing projects like this, I have realized that when you have just a lot of footage, and it's kind of one of those things where it's mostly B-roll, I guess is the best way to think about it. Like it's mostly just footage that doesn't necessarily need context, I guess. It's kind of just helping set the scene or whatever. And whenever you just have a video with a ton of that type of footage, it can really help to just go through and create a timeline of string outs from all the footage as one of your first steps. Because oftentimes, in fact, every time, you're always going to that way have at least one layer of filtering where you found only shots that you could feasibly use. So you're immediately just taking the time to go through and basically discard or not include shots that you're just like, this doesn't really help. This wasn't one of my best. And you can see by how many shots I have here. I mean, I was not super picky, but it also gives you the opportunity, even if you don't cut out that much, it also gives you the opportunity to organize them a little bit by day or by type. So we use kind of a color system to kind of help. Like this is this scene. All these yellow clips are them playing spike ball here. These tan clips are them specifically on the goat walk. These ones are kind of just them hiking, so it kind of just helps you break it up and also just look at all of your footage in this sort of timeline way where you can see like the relative amount of time of each clip you could potentially have. So right here, just looking at this, it's like, oh, sick. So 1325 to 1331 or 32. So that's a 7-second clip I could use. And if I go back to my main timeline and say I have like a clip right here, it's like, well, I need something for that only lasts 3 seconds. I just need a 3-second filler clip because I rejected this shot for whatever reason. I could go back here and just make sure right away I have a 3-second qualifier, because ideally, most likely this isn't the entire clip that I recorded. So yeah, as you can see, if I double click it, this is really just an in and out selected from here to here, because Alex, while he went through here and did all this sorting, he rejected this last part, which I can see exactly why he did, because somebody walked right in front of the camera at that moment. So, you know, that's the other thing. It's like, I'm clearly not going to use that part of this shot, of this clip of 2469. So now I know that the only good part of that clip, or probably the only usable part of that clip, is right here. So, and then of course, when you go to edit, like what I just did, now I can comfortably just close this media pool tab when I am done importing music and all my stuff, and all the footage I need, I can just copy and paste between these two timelines with just a quick Command C and then Command V over here, you know, wherever I want to put it. And of course, there's other ways to copy and paste, where you ripple copy or ripple paste and, you know, shift everything over. So very, very convenient to do it that way. And then I often will just keep the colors the same when I copy them over, so that I can see, again, even from like a bird's eye view, sort of what clips are where. So I can see here the relative amount of like spike ball clips to campfire clips, for example, at a glance. So yeah, all that to say, that's a good reason to do that. So for our purposes today, what I want is another clip here just to extend this a little bit. I'm going to try extending this a little bit more first and see if that does anything, because I just want a little bit more of a J cut here, you know. I want his audio to come in a little bit sooner before we necessarily see him. So let's run it back here and see how it feels. Full screen that.
We want to make sure we can help guide you, help to, you know, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
Today is going to be exciting. We're opening up the summer with a camping trip out to Willowwit. Neat little spot. So we're going to go for overnight camping, and it's going to be great. We're going to bond with these kids. We're going to try to connect with them at the personal level, and then we're going to do lots of fun activities. So it's going to be great. I look forward to it.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
Okay, and that's kind of scene one. That's really all I was expecting it to be. And so now, as you can see, I kind of just transitioned into some B-roll here, and the B-roll will kind of be the transitions between the scenes. And when I say B-roll, I mean like B-roll that doesn't have any people in it. It's purely footage that's kind of just setting the scene, or it's of the natural environment. I took the time to get a good amount of that type of footage while I was there, for just that reason, to help just kind of transition. So on this, I'm not.
Lots of fun activities, so it's gonna be great.
A couple of these shots just felt a little bit long. This J cut felt good. I'm pretty happy with that for now. I like how his title comes in here. I'm gonna disable this real quick just so it's not on screen and distracting. I'm gonna run it back just one more time and just kind of feel it out, see how it feels. Command F for full screen. Let's run it back.
Us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help guide you, help to, you know, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
Today is going to be exciting. We're opening up the.
I think I want another shot actually instead. So just watching this, like, I want to have like a little bit of more life and energy to it. It feels a little bit slow to me. I like where his voice comes in. I don't really want to change that, but I think I want like another shot right here from the morning. So I can do that pretty easily again, just by coming over here to string outs, looking at the very beginning here. And it looks like he actually started with, oh, he actually didn't bring any in because I already had done that. So I don't think there's actually any, I don't think all the shots in the beginning are here, which is actually fine. Because now when I go into media pool here and I scroll all the way up to the top, I can see even more quickly at a glance which shots I've already used based on which shots have this red bar at the bottom. That's how you know what's been used already. So like a shot like this, for example, I can see I haven't even used yet. So I know I can use it. So I'm just trying to find like another kind of shot that could go right after this.
Today is going to be exciting.
You know, same kind of thing, like just something kind of loose, something to kind of keep it interesting. I even kind of like that, just like them playing right there, but that's the shot right here.
We're going to talk about being leaders, so we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun, all right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
Today,
Maybe this shot of Hines here. You know, just like another shot of the football being thrown, and it's a wide shot this time. Yeah, something like that. So let's drag these both down real quick. Try to get in a place where it's not. So as you can see, that's a little bit too long, so I really only needed to go to where this title is. So now it's a matter of figuring out where the best place to start the cut is to make it feel natural. Like a nice kind of natural sequence.
We want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun, all right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
today is going to be exciting. We're opening.
But that feels a little weird
Today is going to be.
because you know the ball just kind of appears there now. So maybe instead.
Today is going to be.
I don't want to use the shot of it being thrown. I just want to use maybe like this or something. That's kind of a, good little wholesome moment. And honestly, I don't think I really need the audio from it. Let's see if I can make it work kind of without it. Of course, this audio is not going to be any good. Maybe I will grab the audio from this just to have it. Couldn't hurt.
Today is going to be exciting.
I kind of like that. That already feels better. Like it's just.
Today is going to be exciting. We're opening up the summer with a camping trip out to Willowwit. Neat little spot. So we're gonna go for overnight camping, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna bond with these kids. We're gonna try to connect with them at the personal level, and then we're gonna do lots of fun activities. So it's gonna be great. I look forward to it.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
So I like the idea of using this shot of this kid here, Keldon, but I don't know exactly.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
He didn't really give me anything much more than that, and I was also kind of just waking up at that moment, so I didn't really have a lot on my mind as far as how to ask some like engaging questions or get some kind of interesting answers out of him. So it's partly on me.
No? No?
I don't even know what I asked him there, but that could have been a good shot.
It was, yes. Well, it was,
Just like rinse a bit for us, like you all just.
Tried to throw harder, but I came up too short.
Fun activities, so it's gonna be great. I look forward to it.
And my challenge to myself, as you can probably also tell, is there's no music in this edit at all. I'm kind of just leaving it dry, if you will. And I could go as far. I did originally have a couple different songs in here that I was toying with, that I was trying out, that I kind of liked. Obviously, that's pretty loud right now, but it's kind of got that lo-fi feeling, and it's kind of upbeat and positive feeling. So I thought that was kind of a good song that could work in here to help kind of just keep the spirits up and that kind of thing and help inform it. But my kind of challenge to myself, because that is how I typically would make these type of videos, is I really want to try to make it without music, make it feel just very, very, I can't remember the term for it, but verite, I believe is the term. Like it's just, you're purely just shooting what is, and that's all you're giving the audience. You're just only showing them basically what's there, and you're just cutting it together in a way that feels good and flows. So I'm not the hugest fan of this transition here.
It's gonna be great. I look forward to it.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
Maybe the shot just needs to linger on him a little bit longer. And also, why is this not moving? And do I have any audio for this? So this was me trying to shoot out my front window. As you can probably tell, the caravan, as we got up to the woods, I was like, okay, I should probably get some kind of shot of us arriving at the campground. Like if I can't get out of my car to get it, I should probably have something. So I just popped the camera up real quick and got the shot. Luckily, I'm just running the FX30 for this shoot, and it's been doing wonders, honestly. Just being able to have such a light, like easy to use, portable setup, especially spending a lot of time like walking around, hiking with it and stuff. Like the FX30 is just so clutch, just such a lightweight setup that helps me be so much more mobile. And especially for shots like this one, I need to basically set it on my dashboard to get a shot. It barely fit right here with the XLR handle on the top. So what I want to do, I'm sure there's a reason I didn't use the audio for this in here by default. Usually I drag them both in. So let's just find out for sure. 2194 is what we're looking for here. Sometimes I just don't switch the audio handle on, so I don't necessarily get the shot. So yeah, it looks like I just didn't have it on here. I don't hear anything. Yeah, so I didn't actually get the audio. You know, it might have been nice to have like the sound of the cars on the rock on a dirt road, like just kind of that natural sound of like driving along a dirt road, which was another reason I kind of wanted to opt to using the music in case there were times like this. So one thing I could experiment with, I know I asked him a couple other questions, so maybe...
Somewhere. When was the last time you went camping?
Last year. It was really fun.
So that's the thing, it's like I got...
Here. It was really fun. It was really fun.
Maybe I'll leave that in. So for now, real quick, I'm just going to unlink this just so I can get rid of that video.
Last year. It was really fun.
So right away, what I'm thinking is I kind of like this, and you can probably tell just by looking at
Last
this.
year. It was really fun.
So what I need to do is add a little fade here to make it not cut out. So
It was really fun.
that shot I'm not really the biggest fan of. I think I'm going to take it out. I think I see why Alex might have picked it. It was not bad, but
Last year.
I'm going to extend to this here all the way to the end.
It was really fun.
And what I want, you can hear the forest ambient sound happening in the background. I'm going to shorten this here so that it's not like too crazy overlapping. So you can see how that's a little better now. It's not super loud. And what I want to make sure is this timing like kind of leads into this, right? And again, usually that's sort of what you get from the music. The music will kind of help inform you when and how to place cuts in the footage. But if you don't have it, you kind of have to rely on something else, something just a little bit, I would say, deeper. Just kind of a deeper intuitive feel of how and when a cut should happen. And so that's kind of what I'm experimenting with in this edit. And so far, I'd like kind of the pacing that's been set. I like the flow of it, the feel of it. It doesn't feel like it's lingering too long. It feels like it gives you as the viewer just enough time to kind of take in the emotion and paint enough of a picture of what's going on without it feeling like it's dragging too much, because that is kind of the upper bound, the upper limit we don't necessarily want to hit. We don't want it to be too slow, but I like giving the people watching a feeling, though, you know. I want them to get a sense of the feeling of what it's like to be there. So it's kind of striking that balance, like not too quick, not too slow, of cuts between clips.
We'll do lots of fun activities, so it's gonna be great. I look forward to it.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
Somewhere. When was the last time you went camping?
Last year.
God, dude, that's just,
It was really fun.
oh man. Okay, so I can't have that clip go that long because it looks like, which he probably did that on purpose.
It was really fun.
Yeah, so that's a little too long.
It was really fun. It was really fun. Last year. It was really fun.
Okay, so this I don't really like. It's doing some kind of weird like zooming, like I zoomed out or something. Like, okay, can I just use the beginning of it at least? No, it's too shaky. So this is kind of the challenge, right? It's like trying to find the right clips. And honestly, this transition between this shot to this shot, I'm not really the biggest fan of. It's just the focus is like too similar. It's like right here, and then right here is kind of nothing. And they're kind of just too similar. They don't really, the shot, this following shot doesn't really add anything after this shot. This is kind of just a close-up of a random, like maybe I can try switching the order of it. Let's start with that, see if that makes a difference.
It was really fun.
So it also just doesn't last long enough. It's just a little too quick. So this shot here I might just have to get rid of altogether.
It was really fun.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. What I could do is maybe look for a shot, or peruse the old, what do you call it? Motion array for sounds of car on a dirt road, because that would really be helpful right there. And having a J cut there would also really help. To, I don't know, just add to the sound atmosphere rather than just him talking. Actually, that's the sound we want. You might not be able to hear it right now, but this actually sounds like way higher fidelity, way higher quality, this particular one I'm listening to right now, but it's almost sounds a little bit too like okay, so far I have to say I think the unfortunate part is these are all kind of short, so I'm not sure. Okay, let's try this one. Sounds like it'll give me the most options, and I think we'll be able to get away with it. Base camping trip. Forest ambience. The other sound I've downloaded, so let's just download that real quick. I think this is a good call. Having this sort of sound effect will be a good layer to add in there. I think. And what I'm going to do is come into here, sound effects. I'm just going to drag and drop all these in. So now, if you couldn't hear it before, we should be able to hear it now. And let's see how these sound. So that's, I mean, that's pretty good. It only sounds like a single car, but it'll be better than nothing.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
Somewhere. When's the last time you went camping?
Last year. It was really fun. Last year. It was.
I wonder if I can use any more of this. Looks like I got a little shaky, but something was just telling me I should make it last a little longer.
When's the last time you went camping?
Last year. It was really fun.
Honestly, I kind of like the feel of that. That feels perfect to me. See, and just that one layer of sound design just sort of brought the whole thing a little bit more together. Like it just brought the glue, brought everything together, I think, just that much more. So I'm liking how this is feeling right now. This is at least this first part, like just getting through the beginning part, feels very solid.
As us being mentors, we want to make sure we can help to guide you, help to, be there for you, support you. So we do want to have some conversations. We want to talk about being boys. We want to talk about being men. We want to talk about being leaders. So we'll have some time for that. But we'll have a lot of fun. All right? Yeah.
Yeah, practice this morning.
Today is going to be exciting. We're opening up the summer with a camping trip out to Willowit. Neat little spot. So we're gonna go for overnight camping, and it's gonna be great. We're gonna bond with these kids. We're gonna try to connect with them at the personal level, and then we're gonna do lots of fun activities. So it's gonna be great. I look forward to it.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
Somewhere. When's the last time you went camping?
Last year.
Okay, so I think I'm just going to leave it at camping somewhere now at this point.
Camping somewhere.
want to see if I can grab this audio. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I'm going to grab this and bring it all. No, I didn't say that. I'm going to grab this and bring it all the way back here. So it looks like I didn't turn the... Okay, so I turned the camera on late, so I can't really use it. So that's the other thing. Not the camera, but the speaker, so, or the microphone. So that was another kind of just technical thing about acquiring the footage for this trip, is there were definitely some times where I didn't necessarily, I kind of just had to remember what to engage in when, and, thinking about getting these shots, and just a few times it just completely slipped my mind to get these, to just turn on the microphone, just something as simple as that. I was kind of tight on battery as well. So a few of these shots, a few of these times in here, for the most part, it was fine. I did have headphones with me as well. I didn't wear them all the time, but I did have the headphones just to make sure I was getting clean audio as a reference, for most of the time. And of course, you have the audio levels on the screen. I had them on the monitor as well, so I have a very quick visual cue of whether or not any audio is coming through, luckily. So that was good. But yes, there are going to be a few moments like this. I'm like, oh shit, after I start recording, I didn't have it. So unfortunately there, what I would have liked is to have, you can hear the kids, the voices of the kids there. And what I would have loved to do is just drag this back and just bring in that audio sooner, just some human voice of like the kids up in the middle of the woods. Not to say I couldn't go find another clip and potentially use that. I might even come over to here and just find some... even like that audio right there. Let me just unlink that. Command C, Command V, and I just want a little bit more voice in here. Really. Let's just paste that here, and then start it just back here a little bit sooner, like close to this one. Oh, I guess I gotta start it. I don't know. Let's just kind of see what feels right.
What are we doing?
Camping somewhere.
You see how just that little bit of human voice just... And now I'm going to actually just do a little crossfade here, fade that out and that in. And I could do these on the same audio track and do a crossfade transition, which actually probably would make it a little bit more simple. So I might go in and do that at the end just to clean up all these audio tracks, so I'm not using all these ones where there's just a bunch of overlapping. The thing is, there's so often times when I just want to overlap them so much more, or I want to overlap more than two at a time, so it just sometimes makes sense for me to do it this way instead. But for these little moments, I probably should just get in the habit of just making a transition out of it, using an actual crossfade transition like this and just putting it between two clips like that, essentially. So I might come back and do that later on, but I like already how much better that sounds. Like, instead of having just the dirt road and just the forest ambience, which is nice, it's it kind of starts to take on that slow feeling a little bit too much. Whereas if you hear just a little bit of faintness of people talking in the background, it just helps remind you why we're here, right? To follow the kids, follow the story, see what they're doing, and just be basically an ear to the wall, have an ear to the wall of their conversation. It just helps, I think, keep the viewer engaged a little bit more. What are we at here? 55 minutes, so about an hour of streaming. I might have to go for a little walk here just to take a break, essentially, because it's pretty nice out. And also, I just got to get up. I'm feeling a little drained, a little loosey-goosey at the moment.
yeah, I think I got a good amount of stuff in here for today. So I think on that, I might just call it. I'm going to go to the bathroom, maybe get something to eat, but go for kind of a walk here and just take a quick break. But then after that, we will be back to the races here. So thank you for watching. If you are watching this in the future, hopefully this live stream kind of stays live on the channel for a bit and everything is Gucci. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.